Hey, so we're here today with Trinity. We're going to be doing our first, we're doing off-leash training with her, but today's her first day. So everything I do around off-leash training, my loose-leash walk, it all revolves around leash pressure. So while she is going to be off-leash training, the first part of her training starts with the loose-leash walk. So how do we start this process? Let's go over leash pressure first. So leash pressure to me is like a light switch. You turn the switch on, pressure goes on. That means you turn it on because you want something. When they do it, the pressure goes away. So pressure means the prong collar, whatever you have, the collar goes tightened and loosened. Pressure on means it's engaged. Pressure off means the leash is taut and there's no pressure. So like again, like the switch I analogize, or I use the analogy of light switch on, you turn it on, light switch comes off, they turn it off by doing something that you want. So to teach that, all we're gonna do here is, I'm also gonna take my sunglasses off. It's pretty sunny, but just for dog training, I like to, I want them to have a personal connection with me, so I want them to be able to see my eyes, and I don't want any mysteries going on around here. So all we're gonna do is, Trinity, just gonna show her I have some food right here. Oh, she missed that one. So these are training treats. I can even break these up a little bit. You see how it's taking her a bit to eat it? We want these to be fastly digestible, just like that. So what we're gonna do first for leash pressure is, we're gonna bait her into going forward here. And then we're gonna do pressure on, pressure off. When she comes back, she gets a treat. So we're not doing any commands here. We're just baiting her to walk in front. And if she's stopping here, pressure on, and then the pressure's off. Now my yes to my dogs, I don't do markers, I do pay, praise, and play. So this is pay, obviously, with food. I can give her praise. Good girl, good girl. Oh, yes, a good girl. Now we'll do this way. Good girl, good girl. Oh, you're so nice. That's so nice. Oh, yes. So now she's gonna be a little more riled up, so she's probably gonna bait into a nice one here. Good girl, good girl. So now the next thing we're gonna do, she kind of understands. Let's see if I put pressure on. See, she's even looking at me now. That's again why I take the sunglasses off, and how I know when she's starting to recognize that the leash is me. It's not just some random piece of rope that's attached to her. Now, the next thing we're gonna do is you can see she kind of knows I have food now, so she's paying attention, but she doesn't have any real idea of my expectations. So we're gonna do a loose leash walk. It's gonna be turnarounds, U-turns, maybe some directional changes. And the sudden stops is really what hits home that she needs to stay with me. So what I'm gonna do here is, before we get started right now, a massive thing with dog training is expectations, right? So she doesn't know what we're doing, but my expectation for her right now is that she's a perfect walker on the leash. So when I hold her to that expectation, and dogs in general, they're just going to, pop up to whatever expectation you hold them, or lower to whatever expectations you don't hold them. So right now, in my head, I'm looking at Trinity, and she's already a perfect dog. I just have to bridge that gap here. So with my expectation that she knows what she's doing, even though she doesn't, I'm gonna be very stern on my corrections, because that's just the expectation that I'm rising her to. If I don't hold that expectation high, we're both gonna struggle through this process. So I'm gonna show you, again, right now, in my head, she is a perfect leash walker. Trinity, come. So you can see here, she's stopping with me. I'll pay her for that. So we'll put some leash pressure on. Come. Leash pressure on. She comes with me, it goes off. Stop. So she stops with me, no pressure needed. Come. So right here, she stopped with me. Now let's say I want to put her in a sit. Sit. Pressure's on. Trinity, sit. See how it stays on here? Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. So if you could see there, what happened was she knew sit. She didn't want to do it. So the pressure stayed on that entire time. So all we're going to do here is, you can see I'm in a driveway. I'm literally going to work in a 10-foot box, and we're just going to do maybe a minute of leash drills. And again, I have the expectation that she's going to do exactly what I want. So if she's doing that, great. We'll reward her. That's a good girl, Trin. And then if she doesn't, we'll just give a little pressure. Now, pressure doesn't mean, or I should say physical pressure, because, you know, we always want to talk to our dogs, right? We want to say, sit, stay, come, what the hell are you doing? But they don't understand that, right? They're dogs. They speak in physical pressure. So, you know, you see dogs, they're wrestling, they're grabbing onto each other, they're throwing their body weight around. That is how they communicate. So to bridge the gap from a verbal to a physical communication, we use the leash. So, again, I'm going to talk to her. If she follows that, great. I'll praise, pay, and play it. But if she doesn't, I'm just going to bridge the gap and reinforce my verbal with a physical form of pressure. Trinity, come. So pressure, release. Sit. Good girl. That's a good girl. Trinity, come. So right here, I'm going to try and bait her in front of me. See how she just stops there? That's my expectation that she shouldn't be going in front of me. I set that expectation, so now I'm just holding my standard to what she's going to rise to, because I'm not wishy-washy with it. She doesn't have a question because I don't have a question. Trinity, come. Trinity, come. Pressure on, pressure off. Sit. Oh, he's a good girl. Oh, he's a good girl. Oh, yes, you are. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, a good girl. So, is my no word. If she were to say, blow me off when I do the then I would just, So, see, if she would have blown me off there, I would have just given her a little pull on the leash. But she doesn't, so there's no need to correct when they listen. We're only using corrections when they blow off the verbal to give weight to the verbal. Trinity, come. Trinity, come. Hey, over here. Come here. Sit. Good girl. That's very nice. Sit. That's very nice. Very nice. So you'll also see here, I don't care which side she's on. I just want her to be with me. I don't want her to be behind me. I want her on either my left or right side. I don't really care about heel. I have 4 dogs, so to me, walking a dog on your left is irrelevant, because if I'm walking, I'm not going to have, if I take all my dogs out, them all on my left. I'm all about pet dog training, so I don't even train the word heel. I just do come. If I need them very close, I say here, because I don't want to be confused with a heel. So you're going to see, we're giving her breaks in between. We're keeping this short, but we're keeping the expectations very high. And you can see she hasn't really messed around. Like, let's let her off leash here. Trinity, come on. So you could see already she understands the verbal because I've enforced that with the physical. Trinity, come. Trinity, come. Who's a good girl? Sit. Oh, you are so good. You're making me look too good for YouTube. Huh? You're making me look too good. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to pick the pace up a little bit. And all I'm going to do is change speeds here. Dude, you're sitting on the leash. So all I'm going to do is change paces here. You can see we've been going very slow. I'm going to go fast, slow, and I'm just going to really test her to see how well she's paying attention here. Trinity, come. 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 Good girl. That was excellent. Good girl. Trinity, come. Trinity, come. Now we'll do some turns here. Trinity, come. Another thing you can note is I hold the whole leash in here, This is my emergency. This is what I'm gonna use if I want to direct her and give her less kind of control. So the more leash she has, the more control she has. The shorter the leash, the more control I have. So you can see, we could go in tight turns here. Whereas if I have her here, she gets kind of lost. So that's how we teach the loose leash walk. Right, Izzy? I'm sorry, Izzy's her sister. Right, Trinity, pretty girl. And I'll see you guys in the next video.